Hello, beautifuls. This is the last day of Black History Month. I hope that you ladies found some pleasure in it. I did. Like, let me just be honest. Um, I found some pleasure in Black History Month. I found some pleasure in the not on Black History Month. You know, like that was the thing that was going on, and some of the quote black conversations. Um, I enjoyed some of the videos of wholesome black women who were married to very decent white males, and them, making videos about it, with the white male doing something that was white, like putting too much mayonnaise on his sandwich, like the comical things that can come up in an interracial relationship. And she would be like, not on Black History Month. I enjoyed a lot of those videos. I enjoyed a lot of those skits. And yeah, I kind of, and then in honoring black women in the way that I have, I kind of enjoyed like just hearing about the remembrance of black women. And for the record, I was born in the late 1980s, decade. Okay. So in some of my videos that I made, I can't know everything, right? All of the information by the time, especially when it comes to Billie Holiday, any of them, like by the time Billie Holiday had been dead almost 30, 40 years before I was even born, right? So all of the information that I got from all of the information that I gathered to put in like into a 45-minute hour long video was information that I got from White Zaddy himself, right? It's not like black people honored any of these women enough to do any kind of like real life adaptations of their lives, or like to get into all of the facets of their lives, right? And I'm gonna start like holding the Black Women Collective accountable in that way. Like, how are we honoring black women? How are we honoring black women? And how are we taking care of black girls? That's something that we have to consider, especially those of us who are in, positions of activism. And I'm getting that I just now finished the Sojourner's Passport in my Discord, and one of the chapters of that book speaks about activism. And if you basically, if you really want to do black women's work, like, here are some tips on how to do it. And as a black woman who, I'd like to think that some of what I do here is activism, and of course what I want to do in my real life, like the black women's work I wish to do in my real life is activism. And I'd like to, hold myself, first of all, accountable, like not allowing people to play with our mothers, first of all, and then to also be mindful about what we do as a collective for black girls. Yeah, so anyhow, yeah, this is the last day of Black History Month. I think yesterday it was like another fucking skit going around of a black woman who a nigga sent her $35 or something for dinner, and for lunch, and she said he should have sent her $100. Like, these are not real black women. Like, I cannot emphasize this enough. Like, not real black women. Like, just, yeah, this is not how black women really exist. Like, we need to stop, feeding into this as black women. But anyhow, this video is titled "What They Did to Us," and I wanted to speak to the black woman of today, and what they did to us. And I want to do it the same way that I did the other videos, how it's a 1-2 punch. Like, I don't want black women to think that it's not a 1-2 punch. Like, I don't want us to think like, oh, it's just these niggas. Like, sadly, the allies are far and in between, and because we are desperate for allies, we're getting it wrong. And I think that we should be mindful of that. So, anyhow, yes, this is what they did to us. This is what, everybody did to us. And this is like to, of course, millennials, because I'm a millennial, but also the collective of black women that is alive today. Like every black woman that's alive today. Every black woman that's alive today has been living in this 1-2 punch of existence, and what it is. The 1-2 punch is misogynoir. It's they hate me because I'm black, and then also hate me because I'm a woman. Like that's a real thing that we're living in. That's a real existence for us, and it was a real existence for our foremothers. And I think that we can learn some lessons from them, and also learn some lessons in the mistakes that we've made. And my, 30 some odd years, I'm realizing the mistakes that I have made, especially in being a quote, for the time that I was, a quote, pro-black woman. And how being a pro-black woman was not always beneficial to our existence as black women, especially as we made sacrifices. And I'm saying we because I'm speaking of the collective of black women, especially as we made sacrifices and kind of martyred ourselves and our image for the collective of black people, and knowing that black people don't give a fuck about black women. So yeah, we have a lot of we had a lot of corrections to make as black women, but first of all, we need to first admit that we made some mistakes. And I'm saying we because I identify with black women, right? I make it a point when I'm on my Facebook channel I'm at my Facebook page to say y'all, not us. When I'm being clear and precise about, it wasn't us. But for the most part, I identify with black women, the collective of black women. So when I say, we made some mistakes, and we have to live with them. And we're young. I have a 96-year-old patient. And usually when I have like old, black women patients, like I always I know I'm in service to Goddess herself in that moment, right? I know that, like, not that my other patients ain't shit, to clarify, right? And not that I'm treating any of my patients unfair, but I just know that I'm in the presence of Goddess herself at this time, right? And, I have a 96-year-old patient, and we're talking, and I'm just asking her about her life. Girl, what you did in these 96 years, And, as we're talking, she asked me how old I am, and I told her, and she looked at me and she said, "You're just a baby." And I get the baby put in, and I get the baby, like the maidens that come over here, I get to tell them that they just a baby, but I don't always hear, "You're just a baby." But to her, and living 96 years, yeah, I'm just a baby. I'm about, 1/3 in this. I got 2 more thirds left to live, if God spares life. And I think that we need to consider that as, millennial black women, or even as black women who are older. Like, we need to consider the fact that I got this much time. If God is grant life, I got this much time on earth. And do I want to first of all leave it how it is, the fucking mess that it is? And do I want to live the rest of my life? I'm thinking for my own personal self, right? And I'm thinking, damn, if I got 60 more years, if I got 60 more some odd years here, even if it's 50 some odd years here, do I want to live it in the mess that we have made for ourselves? Absolutely not. And then not to mention that I am a mother, right? And my daughter's in her 20s. So, like, what is the mess that I want for her? And then I'm a lover of black girls. Like, when I see black girls, when I see black girls, I just, love them. They're just so innocent. Like, when I say they really are a holy thing, and I wish that we could keep a holy thing holy, I mean it. So when I think about, damn, they just getting here. Baby, they just now got here Earthside. When I see a little, 3-year-old black girl, or, a little 5-year-old, or even a 10-year-old or 15-year-old black girl, like, they just now getting here. They have no idea of the mess that not only, has been left for them, unfortunately, in time far away, but also in the time that we've been here. Like, we've done nothing to make it easier for them. And for me, I have a black daughter, right? So for me, it's like, to leave the mess as it is, I feel like it's disgraceful to her. Do I even love her if I do? Really, I really have to sit with myself and question my love. Like, do I even love her if I do? And I think that's something that black women have to consider. Like, the black women that you know and that you love, and if you just have an affinity for black women, even if you don't have any daughters, or you don't have any black daughters, right? For women that have, biracial daughters, for your love for black women, like, is this the mess that we want to leave them in? And for me, at my, I like to say big age, but, Miss F, let's call her Miss F. It's like, girl, you just a baby. You just getting started. The fire just getting under your ass. You know what I'm saying? For her, and hearing her words that I'm just a baby, and knowing, like, damn, I got a long time left, You thinking, if you live out what you think is a natural lifetime for black women, like, you living up into your 80s and you only 30 something, girl, you got time to do some fucking work in this realm. And that's what I've been considering. And I don't want to leave the world a mess for black girls. And some of what I've gotten wrong, especially in doing pro-black work, like, let me undo some of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me undo some of that shit. So when, when a black girl is here where I am now and looking back at her foremothers, she can see, oh yeah, black women started to make a change. Like, black women, in the year 2020 something, black women started to see, or in the late 2010s, black women started to see that it was a problem, and they started to make a change. And due to their change, I get to exist a little differently. And not to say that our foremothers did no work, right? Because they definitely did. Like, here we are now, baby, able to basically say, fuck these niggas because of the work that they done. Because of the work that they done, we get to really be free of niggas. We get to really be free of these fucking apes. You know what I'm saying? Based on their work. So, if every generation and every, foremother, and one day will be foremothers, like, we get to look back on their work and see what they did to ensure that we be a little bit more free. You know what I'm saying? We have to consider, what are we going to do? What are we going to do what am I doing today to make sure that the little black girl that was born today, and I think like 1,500 black girls are born a day, 1,500 born today, as we speak, and they not even going to have a whole birthday because it's the 29th, right? But anyhow, 1,500 black girls are born today. What am I doing to make life easier for them when they're my age? Right? When they had their Saturn return, and they start to realize, like, what the fuck is going on. Once they had that Saturn return, once about 29, once Saturn start coming into that orbit, you start waking up to some shit. About 28, 29 years old, 28, 20, it's like 28 to 31, 33 is a catastrophic year. You gotta fall and get back up. You gotta die, like, that Jesus did, getting spiritual. You gotta die and be born again at 33. So when that's happening in their lives, I want them to see some of the works that we have done. So anyhow, getting into the ending of this series, ladies, I done said all that, So, some of the things that they've done to us, and I wrote a list, and I'm going to explain them as I go along. The first thing is that, black women are not able to have, like, and I'll speak briefly about this because I've said it, several times, but I want to get into the more, like, when we talk about, normal romantic relationships, right? Well, black women are not able to have the same, existence as every other woman and every other people on earth because, black males are making it so clear and so honest and so loud about how much they hate us. Like, these bitches can't even hate us and get the fuck on. They got to, they got to have a fucking smear campaign and tell the whole world, how we black and ugly and got nappy hair and fat. Like, bitch, just go. You don't got to say that. But anyhow, so we're not able to have, like, the normal relationships that other people are able to have. And now, let's not even get into that. Like, that's just, that we get it, right? But I think that what we don't get is, like, the normal relationships that we have as human beings, familial relationships that they're ruining. And I'm realizing this as we speak with my own brother. Like, his hate and venom for black women and the black woman collective, that includes me. I'm not included, right? His hate and venom for the black woman in general, it stops us from even having a normal brother-sister relationship. I've mentioned before, like, I'm just minding my business. Like, this is how much he hates black women and how much he hates me. I've been very vocal about my feelings about Megan Thee Stallion and how Megan Thee Stallion herself is representing the black woman collective and how black women are being harmed and, like, everybody is getting, some sick satisfaction out of it. This bitch Drake just now posted a couple days ago a video on his story, like, basically free Tory Lanez. Like, bitch, you didn't even fuck with Tory Lanez before this nigga shot Megan. You just fuck with him now because he harmed a black woman. Like, it's so fucking pathetic. And my brother's the same way. I'll be minding my business. I lie to y'all not. Now, mind you, my real Facebook, my real Instagrams and my real Facebooks have been taken down, but I used to have, like, my real Facebook up. And when this thing with Megan first started happening, like, he would send me, like, shit to just, like, irritate me. He would also do the same thing when it was about when Future bitch ass would say something rude and disrespectful about Ciara. Because he knew that I felt like, Future was a bitch, and I really did. I used to message Future, like, out of the blue. I used to send Future videos and pictures of Ciara. I'm petty. But I used to send Future, like, if I scrolled down my timeline, I saw a picture of Ciara looking happy, like, I would forward it to Future. I need help. Yeah, I know. But anyhow, yeah, I used to do that. But what my brother began to do to me was he used to, like, when Future would say something rude and disrespectful, he would forward it to me. Like, why do you hate me so much, nigga? Like, why do you hate me so much and why do you hate our image so much that you want to send me, like, those kind of messages? Like, why? And that's just something minute. But then we get right back to the bolts and screws of black males being bitches. Like, we can't let this go. Like, I don't think that black women understand how your connection to a bitch male in a patriarchy affects you. And I'm beginning to realize, like, not just with my brother, he's a bitch, but he's a bitch too, and that's his wife's problem. But for instance, my father, who is, a 65-year-old black male who is a bitch, okay? Who is a bitch. And currently my father, he lives inside of, some kind of senior citizen building, but that was shit that was built up by white males. And because it's a senior citizen building, like, the rent is cheap or some shit like that, so he's getting, like, some goddamn governmental subsidies from the white male collective. And then his finances is directly connected to my mother's social security. Like, you are a bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're living your old age due to white males financing you and my mother's death, you bitch. Like, you're a bitch. And this is how black males exist. I know I'm talking about my father, but your father's bitches too. Okay? Let me tell you, your father having to get up every single day and work for a white male's patriarchy and then tell you fuck white males, that is bitch ass. Like, what the fuck is going on? Your daddies are bitches. Your uncles are bitches. Your cousins are bitches. Like, all these niggas bitches. You understand? And because they are bitches, and we think in a patriarchal society, you're connected to the bitch ass male that, you know, that you share likeness with. Our connection to them is something that they harm us by. Like we need to get the fuck away from them and like really be a woman alone. But I'm gonna get to that in the end of the video. Okay, I'm just trying to, you know, get us to understand like what they're doing to us. Our connection to them and the fact that they are bitches brings down our value as a woman. As a woman, the reason why white women are exalted so high is because they're connected to the best male in the world. They're connected to in a patriarchal society. It's due to their connection to the best male in the world. That is why they are positioned and exalted so highly. And the reason why we are seen as so low and treated so badly is because of our connection to a bitch ass nigga. If I had a catastrophic event happen in my life right now, like, the reality of the fact is, I'm on my own as a woman. I'm on my own as a woman. My father's not going to be able to do anything about it. Like, let's just say, you know, a whirlwind come in and I'm, you know, asked out, I can't take care of my daughter, and, you know, she's out in school and I can't take care of her, and I can't even pick up my phone and call the males of my likeness, the males who are my cousins, uncles, father, and brother, and say, y'all, I'm fucked up, and send help. How many white women you know can't do that? Like, realistically. How many Asian women you know can't do that? Like, I'm fucked up and I need some help. If I ain't got, you know, if I ain't got fucking rent next month, I will be on my ass. And it's, you know, it's just disgusting. It's just disgusting that we are just unprotected as a women. It's disgusting, and I'm sick of these bitch ass niggas. Like, really, if they was not here, we would be in a better position. Like, it's one thing to be a woman alone and attached to a bitch ass nigga than to just be a woman alone. Like, black women, like, really, we have to understand that we need to just be a woman alone. And I want to add here these bitch ass nephews, because I got one, okay? Y'all, even y'all nephews, bitches. Like, it's out of control. Like, I'm telling you, as a black woman who has a nephew, and my nephew is like 14 years old, I feel better now knowing that, you know, that's a wasted investment today than to have wasted that investment in offering him love and financial support and trying to make sure he don't be bitch ass. That speaks to your sons too, but I'm not gonna mention black women's sons today. I'm just gonna mention nephews, because I got one. Like, I'm not gonna speak on no goddamn sons, because I don't have none. How about that? Go ahead. Preem not mentioning no thuns today, because I don't have none. I'm talking about the black males that's in my life, okay? And I have a bitch ass nephew, and I'm realizing that is a wasted investment. He ain't gonna be nothing but a bitch too. And not only is he he already showing his venomous ways towards black women, and think he gonna put it off on me? Never gonna put his venomous hate for black women off on me. I don't have no motherfucking sons, and I don't have to be connected to young black males in that way. But we do have nephews, and you realize you're going to put this investment in their little dirty asses, and I'm telling you, it's a waste, black women. Don't do it. If your little nephew's starting to show signs that he don't really fuck with you, girl, pack up your pocketbook and mind your motherfucking business. Don't buy his little ass no fucking coat. Don't buy his little ass no fucking shoes. Don't let him come over your house and live in your luxury apartment. Let his ass stay in the fucking ghettos and the slums in which his mother and father live in. I'm telling you, don't do it, black women. And then, the familiar relationships, but also the bonds that we could have with each other women. Because all black women are competing over these dirty ass apes. Like, we can't even have friendships We can't have like literal relationships with our sisters. Like you're like if you got a sister, you probably, if you are a black woman with some sense, a crowning black woman, or yeah, let's just call her a crowning black woman, and you got some fucking sense as a black woman, like you can't be around her and her ape. So, their existence is destroying our friendships. Right now, I'm trying to struggle through a relationship with my aunt, and that's just in realizing that I'm just a woman alone. My mother has transitioned. My aunt that I was closer to has transitioned, right? She's gone. And I have one other aunt who's still on earth, and she's a literal crone. She's an old fucking lady. And I can't have no relationship with her based because of her husband. Because of her bitch ass husband. Like, the woman that I am today, like, I cannot sit around and watch my aunt get old, get bent over, not get bent over, but I mean, like, as black women, as you might have seen some black women like walk with a bent over, and not that she bent over yet, you know what I'm saying, but just the fact that he's eating her, I can't watch my aunt be ate. Like, I really can't do it. Like, I'll be inside of her house, and it's just the things that he does and says that just really annoy me. First of all, it's her fucking house. That's the first thing. Step one, it's her house. This old ass bitch moved inside of her house. Like, what? That's fucking crazy. But this old ass bitch moved inside of her house, and he lives there, and he acting like the king of the castle, even though it's a house that she bought. And she had put new windows in her house. It's windy here. But she had put new windows in her house, and I'm sitting there because she's this is my aunt. She's telling me about she put new windows in her house, and so the window is like a window where you got two windows, and she was like, she's talking to her husband, but she's talking to me, so like it's all of us having a conversation, and she says, we're both Virgos, so we joked about the fact, like, she's going on to say, like, even though it's two windows, I need a whole window shade there. Like two window shades not gonna do for me, because I need the window shades to be level when I put the window up. I need the shades to be level, and if it's two shades, like if it's an inch off, it's gonna drive me crazy. And I'm laughing about it because I know what she mean. Like, perfection is a thing. Perfection is a thing. So I'm laughing, and I completely understand. This bitch ass husband gonna say, she says my OCD will just bother me so much that I can't even, have the two windows. Like, we need one shade. And he says, well, your OCD not going to be here all the time. Bitch, what? And she laughs it off, but I know my face is just like disgusted, because I got one of those faces that got a disgusted face. Like, every feeling I'm feeling is right on my face. So I'm really just sitting there disgusted, like, bitch, what? And things like that happen, and I'm just grossed the fuck out. Like, I cannot tolerate it. I literally cannot be around my aunt because of her husband. My daughter called me, because I don't talk to her at this point. Like, I really don't talk to her. I don't have no communication. She didn't have surgery. I have not been there. Like, I'll send gifts, and I'll send, like, love letters and the gifts, but I physically cannot tolerate it. My kid again acting up, y'all. Give me a second. This how I go with her. So, anyhow, I literally cannot tolerate it. My daughter just now recently, because she still talks to her, told me that she wasn't getting no, she went and got a perm. And I'm here for black women getting perms. Look, if y'all want to get perms, fuck it. Like, I have natural hair, and I'm tender-headed, and sometimes, on some days, although I don't never go through with it, I can understand how a relaxer, could save a black woman sometimes. So black women can do whatever the fuck they want with their hair. I don't care. But what happened was she got a relaxer, and when my daughter asked her why, because my daughter has never had a relaxer in her hair, ever. But my daughter, has had her hair straightened, and she had, she's had, silk presses. If she wanted straight, she get it straight, So anyhow, she asked my aunt, like, why did you have your hair perm? And my aunt says, because my husband did not like it. He's got tired of me walking around here with a nappy head. I don't like it. Like, I don't play that shit. Because listen, I do understand that males have to be, like, attracted to you to, like, really, be with you. And that should be automatic. Like, from when y'all first started talking, like, you should know that he knows and that he feels like you're beautiful. And she's had natural hair the whole time. So, bitch, when did you stop liking it? Or did you never like it and now you just now telling her? And I don't play that shit. When I tell y'all that, I don't know what this nigga was. Like, he might have been Arab. And I'm saying nigga, but that's just a stand for males. He might have been Arab, or he might have, like, been Spanish. He wasn't, completely white. Or white. Like, he might have been Indian or something. And he asked me, why y'all get your nails that long? When I tell y'all I never talked to him again, bitch, what do you mean? Don't say nothing bad about my physical appearance. I don't play that shit. And I let my daughter know, like, don't play that shit. Like, if somebody got something bad to say about your physical appearance, keep it the fuck on moving. Young girls here, listen to me. If any male says anything about your physical appearance and how you look and how he might not like it, I don't give a fuck what you doing. That's your fucking body, and he needs to just be grateful to be in your presence. If your hair nappy, if it's short, if it's long, if you wear wigs, if you wear long nails, if you wear short nails, if you bite your motherfucking nails off, the nigga need to be happy. And I'm saying nigga, but I mean male, non-black men. He needs to be happy to be in your presence at all. So things like this, it's ruining relationships. It's ruining relationships because if you are a self-loving and self-affirming black woman, like, you cannot be in the spaces of women who are not, and most of them are not, because of their attachment and attraction to apes. Okay? So now they're getting it. So you can't have a regular relationship with them. You can't have, normal familiar relationships with them because they bitches. And now you can't even have girlfriends, black women girlfriends, because these niggas are in the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is some of what they do to us in our existence. Like, this isolation that we're living in. Like, it's just, all of the list. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's just sickening. Okay? Can't have proper relationship with your nieces because of the women that, if you have a brother, in my case, if you have a brother and, he dogs out the pathetic wife, then you can't really have a relationship with your niece because she don't like you. And just now, recently, I had to block, like, when I say recently, 2 days ago, 2 days ago, I had to block my sister-in-law because she's so fucking dumb. First of all, when me and my brother just now had a whole knockout, draw out fight about Megan Thee Stallion. Again. And, this is the last one, like, for real. This is the last one. And my father was there and his wife was there, and the wife went on with him. She was like, Megan never got shot because I never saw no blood. And I looked at her like truly disgusted, because bitch, why are you siding with this fucking dumb ass broke ass nigga that you gotta financially take care of? Like, the least you could do is tell him what the fuck it is. You're following his fucking lead like he's a motherfucking leader. Okay, so this whole thing happened, and I basically tell her that she's stupid. I tell them all that they stupid and they poor, and this is what's wrong with the black collective. We don't respect academia. That's what I say. Because I go on to say, y'all do know that it's a such thing as a forensic science. Like, y'all don't get to look at Megan's foot and say if she got shot. Megan had doctors, right, who either took bullet fragments out of her fucking foot, right, or a fucking bullet, or saw gunpowder on her foot. And then it's forensic scientists who are there to say if she got shot or not. To say that Megan did not get shot It just speaks to how fucking dumb people are in Blackistan. Like, just flat out stupid. And you bitches, I'm talking to my father at this time, my brother, and his wife. And you motherfuckers here are an example of how fucking stupid the community of black people are. Just fucking dumb. And I'm getting up on my high horse to just call people dumb at this point. Like, fuck it. Like, dumb. Like, you are dumb. Nothing else here is, you're fucking dumb. So I let her know that she was fucking dumb. And I got my coat and pocketbook and I left. And everybody was on block. But on my mock Instagram page, in which my family know it, but my mock Instagram page in which I follow Putting On to see what the fuck the goings on at her college, right? She makes a post basically saying that, this whole long story about how my niece gave, a black 8 beggar $1. And my niece is 5 or 6 years old. And I just commented, I said, a black girl giving a grown man money is just wild. It's crazy. I said, but I guess that our daughters will always do what we teach them. And I know that after saying that, like, she was going to send some dumb shit, some dumb shit, back to my inbox. And I said, you know what, I'm just going to take myself on out. And I blocked her, right? So that's a relationship that's severed, and I'm not going to be able to have, like, a decent relationship with my niece, which she needs, because her mother's a fucking bimbo. You know what I'm saying? Her mother's a fucking dumbass. So she really needs a relationship. Like, she really could use a relationship with the aunt that's, got a little bit of fucking sense. You know what I'm saying? But because of her relationship with this fucking ape that is my brother, like, girl, I don't even want to see him dog you no more. I done took you to the other girlfriend house, I done told you about the messages. Like, I done really put everything in your fucking face, and you're just a fucking dumbass. Like, it's nothing more I can do here but cut you the fuck off and move the fuck on and not have no more conversations about it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So those relationships and those kind of relationships that you would like to have, those relationships are severed due to, the black male existence. You know what I'm saying? And then when you go on to, this is more what they did to us, right? And then when you go on to this Black Power thing, right? And the forcing of black women to be the public face of an enemy of the state, right? It's us, it's our image that is, strewn about when we talk about resistance against the larger white society, that if we just separated from these niggas, we could have a better existence, but we don't. An example of this is this bitch ass Colin Kaepernick, right? Remember this? And he put a dark skinned black woman on his magazine. Like, what the fuck? These are the things that they do to us. They have us be the image of the anti-white, or not even anti-white, because at some level it's getting to be anti-American rhetoric. Like, we are becoming the face of that. This is something that they're doing to us. And how does this position us in this country if it's our face that is said to be the problem in this country? And that's really happening. You see a black woman come into a space, you think that she gonna be on that, Black Lives Matter shit. And society does treat us a certain way due to that. And black males are purposely doing it. This is something that they do, as you see with something like Colin Kaepernick. You see these drawings of little black girls, fighting the power, and black women always on the front lines, warring with police and shit. Like, what the fuck? Listen, we are women alone. Black women. We are women alone, okay? We don't have the allies, we don't have the support of the males of our demographic like you would have, like, Asians. For instance, when Asian women was being fucked up by niggas, those Asians came in so motherfucking quick with their Asian hate shit. Them males rallied up with the fucking quickness and got laws passed. so that apes wouldn't be beating up they fucking women on the fucking street. Even though their women had killed, had unalived a little black girl. These niggas are bitches. Jesus Christ. Listen. Listen, the more I think about it, they are just bitch made motherfuckers. Like, just bitches, y'all. And the fact that they are bitches, and then they put our image as the image that wants to war with the, not only the larger white society, with police enforcement and government. Like, it's our image that they are using because they want to hide up underneath of the skirts of black women. Just bitches, okay? And they're not going to make any commitments to the black race that you are as a black woman. Like, they're just not going to make the commitment to the black race that black women do. When we get into the commitment that black women have to the black race, it's really because she births it, right? It's really because, she's going to birth it. And even if she was to make a quote, I'll say it here, although I usually say this in a more private conversation. Even if she does have the ability, and when I say she, I mean us. Even if we were to create a new black race, that really gets rid of that dirty Y chromosome, right? And it's, we are the womb havers, so we get to decide if that's something that we want to do, and we get to decide how that is done, right? And because we hold so much power, whether we know it or not, like whether we are conscious about it or not, this is the power that we hold, and we know this, and this is why we are protective of the black race. But I think that there are better ways for black women to go about this, and the ways in which they are forcing us to go about it, it is making us public enemy number one. And we are women alone in a patriarchal society. And we like 7 or 8% of the population. When I say what they are doing to us, what they have done to us, they are setting us up for the slaughter. That's what they're doing to us. To be clear, what they have done to us and what they are doing to us, they are setting us up for the slaughter. While they get to hide up underneath our skirts for as long as they can run into the larger white patriarchy, and they can say, it's always been these angry bitches. It's always been these angry bitches. This is who it was. Look at history. Look at who was in look who created the Black Lives Matter. Look who was on the front lines of all those fucking, Black Lives Matter shit. It was black women. This is your problem, country. This is your problem, United States of America. It is black women. This is what they are currently doing to us. And, black women, we have got to get ahead of that. We have got to get ahead of that. And we have to get ahead of it without forcing unreal allies. This thought that black women have to choose between having some self-respect and some dignity as a black woman and being a productive member of the American society. Listen. When it comes to what this country is and how it exists, the only person that can contend with black women as far as contributions to this motherfucker is white males. That's it. No one else in this country besides black American women can really contend with white males on what we have done here in this country to make it great. No one has put in more work for this country. I'd argue, with a white male, I'd argue that black women have put in more work in this country for it to be what it is than anyone else. And I'd only have that argument with the white male. I wouldn't have that argument with no fucking Asians. I wouldn't have that argument with Becky. I wouldn't have that argument with Naya Ape. I wouldn't have that argument with any Latino. I would only have that argument with white males. And when you exist in that way, you have some power to live in. And that's how the fuck we exist. Do white males need many allies? No, the fuck they don't. And neither the fuck do we. What is. And that's just that. And black women have to be okay with that. I don't have to denounce my blackness. I don't have to get online and talk about how black women ain't shit to pay my way into being an American. My foremothers have paid my way. You understand? What is it? God paid my way. Yes, Goddess herself has paid all my dues. I don't have to pay my way into being an American. And if what I have to pay to be an American is black women, my own fucking image, absolutely the fuck not. And we're being forced into this. That is what they are doing to us. We are being forced into selling other black women to be considered American. No, I'm laughing at that shit. I can't see another motherfucker in this country as more American than black women. Bitch, who? Bitch, who? When black males say, oh, this country was built on our backs, no, it was built on our wombs, bitch. It wasn't built on your lazy ass back. It was built on the tears of my womb, of my creation. So, I said all that to say, as we are being forced to seek allies, to sell our souls, to sell ourselves short for allyship. White males ain't got to do that, and neither the fuck do I. Okay, black women? Neither the fuck do we. And it's a disgrace to do so. For us to get on the internet and the YouTubes and to laugh about our foremothers' struggles, like, why? Why would I do that as a black American woman? Even when I get it, even when she's got it wrong, I have to empathize with the situation. I have to empathize with the time. A time that I was not born in. A time that I knew nothing about. For us to dishonor our foremothers like that is a disgrace. And if you wonder why this country is sinking, if you ask any white male about his forefathers, watch him show shame. Watch him show shame. Watch him be ashamed of what his forefathers have done in this world for him to live like how he lives. And you want me to do the same thing as a black woman? You want me to have some shame about my fucking foremothers, even though I can see what it's doing to you? Absolutely the fuck not. Count me out. Count me out. No one can force me into that. No one can force me into that fucking corner. When white males are asked, oh, let's talk about the colonization. It was necessary. That's what the fuck you should say. It was necessary. For all you motherfuckers in this world to eat, what my forefathers did was necessary. So when someone asks me about the works of black women in the past, it was necessary. It was necessary. The decisions that she made 100 fucking years ago is the reason why I get to breathe today. It's the reason why I get to eat today. It's the reason why I get to sit up on the internet and say, fuck these niggas. It's the reason why I get to sit up on this internet and call a white male a snow ape due to the work of my foremothers. And you think that you're going to pin me against them? You will not. I don't need allyship with anybody that bad. Nobody. I don't need allyship with nobody enough to toss my foremothers in the fucking garbage. And that's somewhere we're being forced. I said all that with all of that anger and that rage. It's because that's the place that we're being forced. That is something that they are currently doing to us. That's something that they're doing to us. Having us dishonor our foremothers. And if we want to talk about a lazy ass fucking ape of the past, yeah, we gonna do that. I'm here for that. Lazy ass. I remember when I was a quote pro black woman, and I asked the question, why were there any male slaves? Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, I really sat in my room thinking to myself, like, how were there any male slaves? Like, women, all right, first of all, we have to consider the fact, would there have been black women slaves if there were no males, right? If all them niggas just died, like, if they just was like, fuck it, I'd rather be dead than live underneath another man's feet. And this is something that you need to consider when black women and their anti-white rhetoric are talking about how the Asians about to come over here. Let me tell you something. Every single white male would have to die before any other male ran this world. Do you understand? That's who white males are. And I know that's hard for us to wrap our mind around it because we have been surrounded by bitches. But when I tell you, before a white male in a fucking trailer park lets a non-white male come and rule over him, he would die first. You would have to kill him. So when I thought that early on in my pro-black study, I was like, how are they black male slaves? Like, what kind of bitch ass shit is this? So if we want to talk about them, then yeah, I'm here for it. But when it comes to my foremothers surviving, no, I'm not going there with y'all. No black male is going to back me into that corner. And no white male, no non-black person, whether it be male or female, is going to back me into that corner. It's just not happening. My self-respect, my dignity is too fucking high. My honor and my reverence for my foremothers is too fucking high. I understand that I'm here on their. I understand that I'm here on their wombs. As white males get to say, look, if they wasn't cowards, you know what I'm saying? As when someone asks them, well, what do you have to say about your, forefathers and, how they colonized the whole world? And none of us would be able to eat if they did not. And guess what? None of us would be able to eat if it was not for my foremothers' wombs. None of us would be eating today if it was not for the current wombs of black women. Black American women. Women in America. Black American women. If it was not for her womb today, you wouldn't be eating. So absolutely not. I said all that to say, count me out. Count me out of the slander of black women. I'm not fucking doing it. Okay? And no one's going to force me into it. No one is going to do that to me. And I think that if you're a self-loving and a black woman with any kind of dignity, you shouldn't allow anyone to do that to you. You shouldn't allow anyone to do that to you. It's embarrassing. It's humiliating. It's self-denigrating. And you're putting curses upon all of our heads. So yeah, that's some more of what they did to us. And that conversation, having this conversation, with these niggas will say, oh, she's an angry black woman. She's an angry black woman. Bitch, fuck you. Okay? That, like, really, like, when they come up with their conversation about black women being angry, and that's anybody, bitch, fuck you. Okay? When everyone got our blood on their hands, and I mean everyone aside from us got our blood on their hands, it's heavy on the fuck you. You don't get to tell me not to be angry, bitch. Who the fuck do you think you are? Who the fuck do you think that you are? You got us trying to attack each other for being too loud, and she's too loud, and she's too upset, and she's too this, and she's too that. She's constantly and consistently surrounded by people who hate her. I mean, like, and unknowingly, I'm aware of it, right? I'm aware when I go inside a room that most of the people in the room fucking hate me. Like, I get it. Like, and I get the reason why they hate me too. And it gives me joy to burn them the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not angry about it. Right? The fact that my mere existence, the fact that you all have done so much for me not to be able to breathe, and the fact that I still breathe, it brings me some sick satisfaction. You're not getting no anger out of me, but the average black woman has no idea. They're not sitting down and they're not doing the work. They don't understand why it feels like everyone hates them. You know? And for us to allow them to do that to us, for us to be forced into, you know, again, denigrating the image of the collective of black women. No, I'm not doing it. Count me the fuck out. What I want to emphasize, I said all that though, is now we know it, black women. Our foremothers have put us in a position to know it, and our foremothers have put us in a position to do something about it. For us not to have to exist like this anymore. For us to know and for us to understand that we are a women alone. And if we really did separate ourselves from black males, right? If we really did the work that was necessary, like on the world stage, for us to say, we not fucking with them niggas like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, and for us to really sit ourselves aside and say, listen, we not fucking with them niggas like that. And the black women who do fuck with them niggas like that, it's because they don't know any better. If she knew what I knew, she wouldn't be fucking with them niggas like that either. We have the freedom to be able to say something like that due to the work of our foremothers. We have the freedom to be able to move in this world in a financial way to really separate and to really position ourselves to be able to say what the fuck we want to say. You know, thanks to our constant oppression. Like when it comes to the oppression Olympics, like I don't know who beating us out. You know what I'm saying? So most of the things that we say, I remember when this conversation with the TRANNY, you know, people had came up, and I remember that tide turning quick. I remember black women being in support of them, fighting for them, windmilling, and now the only person that could say something about them is black women. Just hilarious be talking about them fucking TRANNY left and right. The only time I see someone get away with it is black women. Like anybody else, like it's like you can't say nothing about them unless you're a black woman. And I feel that way about most people. Like what really you gonna say to me? What really you gonna say to me as a mother of the earth? Okay, what really are you gonna say to me when I say that something is unholy and something is foul and something needs to go? That's what I get to do in this realm. Right? She gives life and she takes it the fuck away. So I get to say who gets to be here on earth. Like I get to say what gets to exist and what does not get to exist. And I think that if black women understood that power that we have, I think that if we really got into the fact that we exist in that way and be okay with it and start being selfish and start being self-serving. Like, listen, sis. Our foremothers have given us the green light. She's made all the sacrifices. She's died a martyr. She's sacrificed anything that black women gotta sacrifice in this realm. She has made every single sacrifice. You don't have to sacrifice shit. You don't have to sacrifice your dignity as a black woman. You don't have to sacrifice your self-respect as a black woman. You don't have to sacrifice yourself for fucking dirty ass apes. Like, you don't have to do that as a black woman. And it's because of the way in which she positioned us today. And for us to still be sacrificing ourselves today is ludicrous. So yeah, I think that's my mark, y'all. I think that's my mark. I think I said all I had to say on what they have done to us. I think that I wrapped it up in saying how we get ourselves out of it, how we free our daughters from it. And that is in being a self-serving black woman. I remember I remember black women always saying, "Oh, you know, I did everything for my daughter. I did everything for my daughter." In the times that I had to choose myself over my daughter, it still served her. It still served her. So I think that if you really are in divine alignment, right? If you really are in divine alignment and you're choosing yourself every single time as a black woman, I think that you're getting it right. Choose yourself every fucking time. When it comes to doing advocacy work, when it comes to doing black women's work, choose black women every single time. And I've gotten here. It's in another video that's going to be shared, but I was talking about hadith or something, which says, offer your sister 70 excuses, right? And when it's going on and on and on about, you know, how black women ain't shit, like, I be windmilling like shit for black women. I be windmilling like shit for black women. Like, you know, when it doesn't, like, if it's not directly violating a kid, you know what I'm saying? If it's not directly a sacrifice of a black woman or girl, I'm probably either going to be windmilling or I'm going to be minding my business. I'm going to be minding my business. I'm going to choose myself first and always. And that includes my daughter and the Black Woman Collective immediate second. Every fucking time. Every fucking time for me. And I think that if we moved like that as black women, even when it's times that you have to stand against black women because you're choosing yourself first, you're making the best decision. Black women today, make a commitment to yourself, self above all else. Myself and my own image above all else. And that's it. Love you, ladies. I hope that you enjoy, you know, the rest of your Black History Month evening. It's a Thursday. Y'all getting off work, you know. I'm preparing for work on the weekend. But yeah, enjoy your evening. I think, y'all, I'm gonna go get me a bottle of wine. I think y'all should, like, let us just relax. You know, this series, wrapping up this series, you know, we deserve a toast. I haven't commented on every single comment. I'm gonna go back and read the comments this evening while I drink my wine. So, my plum wine, okay? So, bear with me, you know? Bear with me, tonight on the comments. But yes, ladies, enjoy your evening and enjoy the rest of your week. And I hope you all have a beautiful weekend.